In a small town nestled between rolling hills and ancient forests, where every house looked like it belonged in a storybook, a strange and unsettling rumor began to spread. It was an ordinary Saturday when the rumor first took root, carried by the winds of gossip and whispered warnings. God says, your neighbor is not safe for you, because on this Monday they want to destroy your. The sentence was never finished, leaving a void of uncertainty that only deepened the sense of impending doom. Please like and subscribe to my channel Seraphic Tales for more interesting videos. This town, with its cobblestone streets and flower-lined pathways, was home to people who had known each other for generations. It was a place where doors were left unlocked and where children played freely under the watchful eyes of their neighbors. Trust was woven into the very fabric of the community, so the notion that one of their own could harbor ill intentions was almost too much to bear. The origins of the rumor. The origins of the rumor were as mysterious as its content. Some said it was a divine message, a warning delivered in a dream by an angelic figure. Others believed it was a prank, a cruel joke meant to sow discord and mistrust. But as Sunday drew to a close, and the sun dipped behind the hills, casting long shadows over the town, the air was thick with anxiety and suspicion. Mary Thompson, a local schoolteacher, was among the first to hear the rumor. It was during a casual conversation with her friend Clara at the farmer's market. "Did you hear?" Clara had whispered, glancing around to ensure they were not overheard. "They say God himself warned that someone here wants to destroy something precious to us on Monday." Mary laughed it off at first. "Clara, you and your wild stories. Next, you'll be telling me the sky is falling." But as the day progressed, Mary couldn't shake the feeling of unease. What if there was some truth to it? She noticed her neighbors acting strangely, too, whispering in hushed tones, avoiding eye contact, and glancing over their shoulders. By Sunday evening, the entire town seemed to be on edge, each person harboring their own fears and suspicions. Monday morning. When Monday finally arrived, the tension was palpable. People went about their daily routines with a sense of foreboding. The usually bustling town square was eerily quiet. Shops opened late, and the few customers who ventured out spoke in hushed voices. It was as if the entire town was holding its breath, waiting for something terrible to happen. At 9 a.m., the church bells tolled, breaking the silence. Father O'Brien, the town's beloved pastor, had called an emergency meeting. The townspeople gathered in the church, their faces etched with worry and confusion. Father O'Brien stood at the pulpit, his usual calm demeanor replaced with a look of grave concern. "My dear friends," he began, his voice steady but heavy with emotion. "We have all heard the rumor that has spread through our town. I do not know its origin, but I do know that fear and suspicion are not the tools of God. We must face this challenge together, with faith and unity. The congregation murmured in agreement, but the unease lingered. Father O'Brien continued, "I urge you all to keep your hearts open and your minds clear. Do not let fear drive a wedge between you and your neighbors. We must trust each other now more than ever." The unveiling. As the meeting concluded, the townspeople filed out of the church, some feeling reassured, others still gripped by doubt. Among them was John Harper, a local carpenter. He had always been a man of action, preferring to solve problems with his hands rather than his words. As he walked home, he couldn't help but feel that the answer to the mysterious warning lay somewhere in the town itself. John decided to take a walk through the town, hoping to clear his mind. He passed by the school, the general store, and finally the old mill, where he noticed something unusual. The door to the mill, which was always locked, was ajar. Curious, John pushed the door open and stepped inside. The mill was dimly lit, the only light coming from a few narrow windows high up on the walls. As John's eyes adjusted to the darkness, he saw a figure moving in the shadows. It was Daniel, the town's recluse, who had lived alone on the outskirts of town for as long as anyone could remember. "Daniel? What are you doing here?" John asked, his voice echoing in the vast, empty space. Daniel turned, his eyes wide with surprise. "John? I didn't expect anyone to come here." "There's a rumor going around, Daniel. People are scared. Do you know anything about it?" Daniel hesitated, then nodded. "I think I might. You see, a few nights ago, I had a strange dream. An angel came to me and said that something precious to the town would be destroyed on Monday. I didn't know what to make of it, but I had a feeling it was important." John frowned. "Why didn't you tell anyone?" "Who would believe me?" Daniel replied, his voice tinged with bitterness. "I've always been the odd one out. People would just think I was crazy." The revelation. As John and Daniel talked, a realization began to dawn on them. The mill, once the heart of the town's industry, had fallen into disrepair. It was a symbol of the town's past, of a time when life was simpler and everyone worked together. If something were to happen to the mill, it would indeed be a great loss. Determined to prevent any harm, John and Daniel decided to keep watch over the mill. They took turns patrolling the area, making sure no one approached with ill intentions. As the hours passed, the town slowly began to return to its normal rhythm, the fear and suspicion giving way to a sense of vigilance and solidarity. Then, just before sunset, a group of children playing near the mill made a startling discovery. Hidden in the bushes, they found a small, handmade device that looked like a bomb. They ran to get help, and soon the entire town was gathered around the mill, their fears now manifest in a tangible threat. Sheriff Anderson, who had been skeptical of the rumors, took charge. He carefully examined the device and determined that it was indeed a bomb, though crudely made. Who could have done this? He wondered aloud, the question hanging heavily in the air. The true culprit. As the investigation unfolded, it became clear that the bomb had been placed by an outsider, someone who harbored a grudge against the town. The culprit was eventually identified as a disgruntled former resident who had left years ago under a cloud of suspicion. His motive was revenge for perceived wrongs, a vendetta that had festered and grown over time. The town was shocked, but there was also a sense of relief. The enemy was not among them after all. The ordeal had brought them closer together, reinforcing the bonds of community and trust that had always been their strength. The aftermath. In the days that followed, the town rallied to repair the damage to the mill. The incident became a turning point, a reminder of the importance of vigilance and unity. Mary Thompson organized a town meeting to discuss ways to improve security and communication, ensuring that such a threat would never take them by surprise again. Father O'Brien's words rang true: fear and suspicion were not the tools of God. The real threat had come from outside, but the strength to overcome it had come from within. The town emerged from the ordeal stronger, more united, and more aware of the need to protect what they held dear. Please like and subscribe to my channel Seraphic Tales for more interesting videos. As the town settled back into its routine, the rumor that had once seemed so ominous became a story of resilience and triumph. The children, who had been the first to discover the bomb, were hailed as heroes, their quick thinking and bravery a source of pride for the entire community. The epilogue. Years later, the story of the mysterious warning and the attempted sabotage of the mill became part of the town's folklore. It was told and retold, each time with a sense of wonder at how close they had come to disaster and how their unity had saved them. Mary Thompson, now retired from teaching, often reflected on the events of that fateful Monday. She had learned a valuable lesson about the power of community and the importance of staying vigilant. She knew that the town's strength lay not in its buildings or its history, but in the people who called it home.